Okay, I think we're actually back now. Or maybe we're live.
Yay!
Oh man, that was hey, nothing like a good late scuffed stream. Well, so our thing to note, multi-streaming. Maybe no, maybe we don't do that. But that's not a problem. Okay, thanks for sticking with us through that. Oh man, that was stressful. Can I turn this down a little more so it's not super loud? Okay, excellent. Well, it's crazy that my ambition was to like edit and update this entire environment stuff live at the same time because that would have not gone well.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the world just gave you a hard no on that one, Chief.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna try and do it, but we'll see how it goes. But how's it going, everyone? How's it going? Has your week been about right to this experience? Because mine's not been far off. I've had an interesting day today. It's mainly been me going, why? Why is things like this? Um,
Yes. It's a very kind of amusing from my perspective. Well, amusing in a way. I guess it's more like I'm happy that you now feel the pain I felt back in the day.
nice. Thanks.
Well, no, it's just like I know that Luke's getting all of this. Like, why are the things done this way? That was exactly what I was thinking to myself when I did a port to Android of Lonely Path. So I'm
Oh.
like, yep, I'm not surprised.
No, I mean it's like
Uh,
it's literally a gauntlet of trying to fix stuff, and it's so annoying because like a lot of the things that I'm trying to fix now are like iPad specific problems, and so I literally am like edit a line of code, then like 5 minute build time because I have to like build it
you
out,
have to build to
move
test
it
it.
onto a
Yeah.
hard drive, take the hard
Uh,
drive down, move that onto an Apple thing, then compile the Xcode, and then when you think that that's it, you're like, oh, okay, now I've got the thing. No, because then you have to like make sure that the profiling thing is right, and then it has to install the build onto the iPad, and then I open it up and I've like not like saved the script or something and I have to restart everything again. You know, that's been my day. I've like built that out down that pipeline like 10 times. But I won't rant too much because I've made some progress. Wait, can I ask why? Oh yeah. Maybe I should just give it a little bit more context about what I've actually been up to this week. So if you weren't here last week or you didn't catch what we were doing last week, we announced that we were doing a bunch of stuff. Primarily, my current task at the moment is moved away from doing the story writing stuff, and instead we're working on adding basically touch support for Steam Deck and for My Party Needs an Alchemist, and making an iPad port for My Party Needs an Alchemist. And then I'll move back to continue doing story stuff for Project 5. There's a few reasons for this, but like it's been a bit of a journey. And like why we're going for iPad and stuff is a bit of an interesting one, but basically it's just like a different market that we can experiment with, and we want to know whether or not it's worth thinking about for the next project, because it will change the way that we'll need to build things for the next project as well as a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, it's definitely introduced some interesting like hurdles and highlighted a few like problems about the way that we currently have built games as to why going to an iPad is a bit of a problem. First of all, I thought the ratio of like the screen of an iPad wasn't too far away from the ratio of like a screen that we use
you
for
fool.
monitors. But you know,
Phones, it's not that different.
what?
But,
Add
iPad.
microtransactions for hats. Oh my god, genius! I'm
Oh
gonna
my
write that
god,
down.
oh my
Write that
god.
down. But the the obviously the ratio for the iPad is 4:3, and the screen is 16:9. So even from that, you can see how wildly different it is. But it's okay because Matt already has this black camera thing that like basically adds bars to make sure that the inner camera, the main camera, is the right ratio. Right, Matt? Right?
I mean, yes.
But did you ever consider that that ratio might change? You didn't, because you never thought you could rotate the screen in real time like an iPad
That's a good
can
point.
and flip stuff.
But there's a solve for that somewhere. You can just call an update function on the black camera script.
Yeah, but I have
Because
to. Yeah, I mean,
Because
there's
I
a
have this,
solution
if you
to
change the
most
ratio of
problems.
in the settings, it does actually update the black things as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're
Which
not
is really
wrong,
good.
but like that was one of the like duh moments when I opened it up on the like
Yeah, fair
the
enough. I went too
portrait
far there.
mode, and then I rotated it, and then the entire thing broke, and I was like, oh
Yeah,
man,
I can see that.
oh man, I have to restart this. But yeah, is a big market, but oversaturated and mostly free to play. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you can make stuff like start in different ways. There's a bunch of solutions to this problem. I think yeah, like blocking it and making it so it's only portrait mode makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, actually, I think that's what I did with the Lonely Path as well. Actually, I blocked it.
Yeah. For the iPad market, it's slightly different. There are a lot more premium games out on there, so it's not the end of the world. And markets being oversaturated is kind of inevitable for all game markets, to be fair. Because like Steam is extremely oversaturated as well, but it just it's 95% or whatever of the market, so you kind of gotta go for it. And if you want to distribute on any iOS device, then the App Store is literally the like monopoly entrance point because it's their ecosystem. But that's how it is. And it's a bit of a loss leading experiment where we can try it out and see how feasible it is to port our products, because we've already put the work in. So if it takes like a month to try and like distribute to a new place and have more people do it, then it makes a lot more sense to like spend that time than to make like more stuff immediately. So it's just an experiment, really, and a bunch of people have basically said to us, like, I want this on this device so that I can go around on the go and do stuff. And which is fair, because I think it is definitely a fun game to do that with. And the other thing is like we have the Steam Deck support, but because we didn't support touch, it's like you had to kind of use the like trackpad for the mouse stuff, which works, and I was happy with it. But there are definitely people who want better support, which is very reasonable. So I want to add touch support because it feels like one of those intuitive things where you should be able to just kind of use your finger and draw on it, because it's especially for like with the potion crafting mechanics, it makes a lot of sense to be able to do that. And I have good news to report. As of today, I got touch support working. Yippee! So it works now, and it's actually pretty flawless. There's also like. So for some reason, there's like different kinds of input that Unity registers. So you have like mouse input, which is one thing, one distinct kind of input. Then you have touch input, which is another thing. And then there's also like pen input for styluses. And my mum's iPad, which is what I've stolen to do all of my testing on, she has like an Apple Pen or whatever. And so I've been trying to like get that to work. But the pen stuff is like that doesn't work, and it feels like if I've got the touch stuff to work, it should be easy for the pen, but apparently it just is like it's so different from the other two that it's just not working, and I'm not entirely sure why. But like for example, like there's a bunch of interfaces we use on buttons that is like on pointer enter, and basically for like press events, like click events, and touch triggers that, which I'm so glad about. Obviously mouse things trigger it, but pen things don't. So buttons don't just instinctively work with pens, and I don't know why. I feel like that feels like that should be such an easy thing to do. On Unity's end, but there's probably some like maybe that's a naive viewpoint. Maybe pens are
Might as
evil.
well just be because my person Alchemist is on an older version of Unity, so it might just be, too old. But version number wasn't implemented at the time.
Well, no, because it's definitely in there. So
Okay.
I just don't know why pens are complex. Yeah, because I know they have the thing where if you flip it upside down, it like rubs out
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
not
And it has a bunch of gyroscopic nonsense going on. I don't care which side of the pen you use. I just want to know what vector 2 I need. So I just need to find a way to like grab that information out of it, and then we should be good with pens too. But yeah, exactly. Hopefully though, we can get the pens to work, and then the iPad port we'll have that working, okay? And it'll be pretty exciting. Also, it's kind of cool seeing your app built out onto an iPad, and I have a whole like overly complicated setup to get it working, and it's kind of neat. But yeah, all of the more complicated admin stuff is done, and we've got touch support and things in for that, which will be great, and that will carry across onto the Steam Deck as well. So it should hopefully work. Yes, I think they do have a drawing app, which is why they have the pen for doing drawing things. But yeah, so hopefully all of that works, and we have that, and then the Steam Deck users also get the nice touchscreen stuff coming across as well. But oh man, I want to talk to Matt about this just quickly as a side note. We should seriously consider, for compatibility of touchscreen stuff in the future, having a static class somewhere that basically just handles getting the position of the cursor as a function. Because
I agree with you. I think that's actually what I did when I converted Lonely Path, was I just made it a static function, just had everything call that static function.
Yeah, because like polling like mouse stop current stop position, it works great, but only if you ever are planning to do mouse effectively.
Indeed.
Which is, yeah, I don't know, it's interesting, but these are the kind of lessons you learn when you're porting stuff, and then you're like, oh man, this is pain. But nothing, it's not so bad. Just thankfully, my Visual Studio thing lets me just like scan for words across the entire project solution, which is so nice. Because there's a lot of scripts in my Party Needs an Alchemist.
That uses the mouse, yeah. There's very much design was just like, this will be a mouse only.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother trying making it for anything else.
Yeah. Now we're like, oh well, maybe these things we support. Whereas Project 5 is very different. Project 5 is controller first, so that it can support mouse and controller. And if we want, I think going for touch is super easy. Now I've done it. I think it's pretty simple. So yeah, I'm.
Yeah, Project 5. I will say there's currently one thing in there that requires mouse and keyboard, but it's something that I don't know if it will be in the game or not. So there you go.
Wait, what was that? Sorry?
I said that there's one thing currently that I've made that isn't supported by controller.
Oh.
Which is So I made a level editor to create levels because the system I had before was awful.
We're gonna need it.
And we're gonna need it, yeah. But so I made most of it with the idea of like, we might have this in the game, so I might as well make it controller support. Also, it's kind of nice to create levels with your controller. But there's one part that isn't, which is when you have to input the size of your grid that you want to start off with. You have to use your keyboard. It's terrible.
Oh well, on-screen keyboards exist. We have the technology. We could try and try.
We do.
Those.
I'm half assuming this is going to be a dev tool rather than an actual part of the game. So
yeah, that's probably for the best. But do we have it? We've also been working on a bunch of other stuff. This is just my random tirade of stuff that I've been working on.
All three of us have been doing different sides. So Luke's side is
iPad things. Yeah.
Matt has. I'll do my side, and then we can have the more interesting visual side.
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of stuff.
So I've done a bunch of stuff, though. It's there's not that much more to show since last week. So I've just been continuing on the combat scene. Sorry, I don't know why my brain froze. So yeah, I made a level editor, which is kind of cool. I'm quite happy with. I made it in such a way that it's going to be easy to. I've tried to make most of this stuff I've made in such a way that if we wanted to have things like modding or like user created levels or like even user created objects and things, it wouldn't be that hard to do to add that to the game. So I've done level editor and like how levels are stored. I've kind of kept with that so that if we decided we did want users to be able to make their own levels and share them with people, it shouldn't be that difficult. Same with the like replays. I can't remember if I did this last week or this week, but I made you can now play out a combat and then save that combat to a file, and then you can like load in that file and see the combat, and you can see the entire combat. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of neat. That would be a nice thing, like one of the things that we wanted with the combat system was be able to like save them out and then show them to other people with a simple file. just currently the case. I am a little bit worried about how, because right now in the file it kind of stores all the data for the level, but if the levels get very big, that might be too much data. So I might change how that's done. But I'm quite happy with it anyway. And yeah, since last week I also did. I also made conditions, and I also got lucidity, which is one of the like unique mechanics that we have for our combat system that I did today, which I'm quite happy with. And yeah, everything's kind of working fine. I also changed how some of the ghost stuff works because I realized I don't need 2 health bars. You only need 1.
Yeah.
I just throw them across instead of copying them. I did a few things like that just to make things nicer to work with. And then I obviously run into problems. I'm like, ugh, I want to do this, but I can't do this. Wait, no. So there's it's a tricky problem because there's a lot. It's a complex. I'm trying to keep it clean. Like I want to have a clean code base, but it's complex enough that every so often I'm just like, oh, it'd be so easy if I could just get this. And I was like, I can't do this from here. No. Anyway, but that's my rant.
Well, if you can pull something up in a second after Lydia's stuff, maybe we can have a look at some of the stuff that you showed off last stream as well, because I think some of the people might have missed it. And the reason why there were 2 HP bars is because in the combat you have kind of like a thing where you can see where you currently are, and then when you make an action, it shows like a ghost version of showing like where you will be. And then I think the 2 HP bars were you had your current HP bar and the HP bar after you as a result of the action that you're planning to take.
Yeah, so basically, your ghost version and your main version had an HP bar each, but I realized that the ghost version and the reason I changed it was actually because it created these weird glitches where when you created the ghost, you would have you could have a frame where suddenly there was no health bar and then the health bar appeared again because it would deactivate the main health bar and activate the ghost health bar. And so I was like, why don't I can just transfer it.
Well, let's jump into the share screens and we can have a look at what Matt's been working on, his little demo. Here we go. This is the very whip combat stuff that he's been working on, but it's just for like a mechanical stuff. And you get to see all of the lovely dev art. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I've added the this little like people icons up there.
You've cut out the things.
Yeah, I did. I also added like pink eyes. I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but
it's hard
pink eyes
to see
for the funsies. Actually, wait, what am I doing? I know how to do this.
Oh, I see.
Let me just play maximize there. So yeah, so this is the scene. That's what I've been making. This is a level I've made it in a level editor, and it's hence why it actually looks vaguely symmetrical. What's kind of nice is that you can do this also. You can see there's 2 different colors for like their movement and then where they can attack, and they will update when you move around and stuff. And these guys, they have an extra range, so they can attack 1 more. And they have different behaviors because I did a bunch of behaviors. So these guys will just come and attack the closest person, and these guys, they won't move until they can reach somebody to attack. So they'll just stay there. But I've got some cool stuff. So if I just move around, you can see the current thing. I've done what Lydia suggested a while back, which is I've actually kind of before the ghosts were alpha'd out in a sense, the same way as the main character is here.
Yeah.
And I've inversed them. I think it looks nicer. I'm going to try a couple of other things.
It's worth noting in the full version of the game, we plan to have the ghosts be like a dark color variant, so they'll be super distinct.
Yeah. I think there will be some kind of difference, but it's just a way of displaying things. I was just playing around with it. So we've also got explode with this guy, which is an AoE attack, which I don't know if I showed off. But I'm going to move around, and I'm just going to end my turn real quickly. Just to have the enemies play their turn. So here, only the 3 people who always come towards you are going to play. Also, you can die now. I've added that.
Hell yeah.
If I show one of the things, conditions, explode gives the burn condition to people. So I can do that. And you can see there's grayed out burn, well, not grayed out, but like alpha'd out small symbol beside the health bars,
Semi-transparent. Yeah,
semi-transparent, like you do, that shows that they have burn, and that will be applied when you do that.
yeah.
And then I think it's the Duelist move that gives lucidity, which is the bar, top left bar. There you go. The bar that just filled up almost entirely. It fills up that much just because I wanted to test what happens when you get too much lucidity, which is one of the things that can happen.
Yeah.
So then if I execute the plan, they will explode, thingy bob, and then burn just deals a bunch of damage afterwards. So they took an extra think of damage there. But yeah, and then you can see the lucidity bar also went down one because it reduces over time. And yeah, it's kind of cool. And you can see also, their health bar already is showing that they're going to take some damage because of the burn that's inflicted to them. Which I think is kind of nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting. I think when we come to doing the visuals, any effect that they're going to have should be like a ring that spins around them, and then when it's actually applied on the turn, we should have the particle effect come up around them.
Yeah. I mean,
display it.
Yeah, currently a lot of this is just I need it to work.
Yeah. It's just a functional tech demo, but it looks really good. You did good.
So yeah, I'm quite.
I love
here I'll get over my lucidity, and it's the wrong symbol because it's not supposed to be a burn symbol. That's a small bug, but basically this is a condition that you get if you go over your lucidity, which deals a bunch of damage to you. Basically, it deals a percentage of your health, is what I've currently got it as.
Oh, it looks like they're headbutting you. I love it.
Yeah, my animations are, as I said, are just
a little bit of I guess something for people in the stream who might not know what we're talking about when we're talking about lucidity in this. Lucidity is kind of like a status effect, or at least I guess what would you call it?
So
a thing that increases over time when you use like magic abilities, basically in this.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, all the magic, instead of having mana that you have that you can use and that will eventually reach zero, we're kind of going with the opposite, which is you have lucidity. Well, we have delusion, is actually what we're calling it.
Yeah.
So basically, every time you use one of these magics, you gain some delusion, and you have a lucidity cap. Again, these names could change just because we'll see. But you have a lucidity cap, and if your delusion goes above your lucidity cap, you gain a condition which is really bad. So you don't really want, or if you get it, you want it to be at the end of combat, basically. Yeah. So and these magic things are going to be very strong. So it's the kind of thing where it's like you want to try and get that delusion to be right under to try and maximize the amount of what you're doing with your magic, basically.
And there'll be ways to increase it. I think does it naturally go down over time? Is that something? I think that was yeah. So
yeah, it naturally goes down over time, and that rate will depend on like the character that you're playing. And also, some characters might have different caps, and there's certain characters that we're planning to do things with delusion. So I know Ralden, for example, he can take other people's delusion, things like that.
Yeah, he takes delusion from other people, and can do things whilst delusional.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a cool little mechanic, and I think it's a nice way of having like a different version of like basically a mana system, which is like
Yeah, it ties it more into the theme as well, which I quite like.
It's almost like a madness system, which is very
fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's one of the systems like you can just go full out and
you can be delusional if you want.
Exactly, but it's not necessarily sustainable. And when both your characters dies, currently at the moment the game just crashes.
Nice. You love to see it. What happens when you go overboard? So the way I think it works is that conditions generally can have stacks. So you can have multiple stacks of burn, for example, and it's the same with delusion. If your delusion goes over your lucidity cap multiple times, that damaging condition, you'll get multiple stacks of them. So like the more you go over your limit, the more you'll be dying quickly, and the longer it will take for you to stop dying from that as well, because you have to wait longer for your kind of delusion to decrease.
Yeah, and another thing to note is when your delusion goes over your lucidity, like your cap, it gets reset to 0, so it can you can rebuild up, but you have this stack that you can't get rid of anymore, or at least you can't get rid of easily.
Yeah.
Can I pitch something wild?
What?
I feel like when you're you're fully delusional when you've like gone over the cap, we should add like a Minecraft nausea effect when you're selecting that character. I think the
No,
screen should go all wibbly.
yeah, I just know that every like negative review is like, I can't
Motion
play
sick.
this.
I
I'm
can't
ill.
play this game.
Yeah, I don't think we should add a screen warp.
Oh, it'd be so fun. Even at the
I think
edges,
we should have
a little
some kind of
wiggle.
effect.
Or we can definitely have some kind of effect, maybe some like chromatic aberration or something.
Oh,
But
that'd be good.
something like wibbly and like dreamlike, I think is what we want to go for, because the whole like lore reason is that you're effectively becoming more of a, you're
Part of the
stepping into the dream more and more, and like you're leaving your like waking world behind, and that's not good for you.
Oh, we can do like the effect we had in Malagry from Madness, where the little eyes start appearing in the corner of your screen.
Mm.
Little flashes of symbols, but we can make more tarot cardy. That'd be cool.
Oh, is this your level editor?
Is it my level editor? Yeah.
Nice. This is cool.
So, yeah, it's relatively simple, but I think it's it functions.
But sorry, but yes, Lydia, sorry, you're right. Which is like some of the stuff from Isle of Margaret would be really cool to see, because we played with Madness there a bit as well. But yes, so Matt, you added. I see you added a thing so that the names aren't crazy on the selection.
Yeah. Well, you asked for it, so I thought it was a good idea.
Hell yeah.
I quite like this. It's a neat system because it utilizes some clever things. So like I don't have to like these objects and these guys. They're not actual game objects. Like they're not objects that. So they're not actual combat objects, I should say. So they don't exist in the same way as they do in the combat scene. They're kind of like markers, and all I'm doing is I'm going, oh, do you have a sprite component? If so, just display the sprite for me, please. Or like, oh, do you have an animation component? If so, just create the prefab, and then I can remove things if I want. Like me, So I said a bit. I don't know why sometimes it's not working. That's interesting.
I think is it because that you need to click on the tile, and the wall tiles, the top of them is beyond the tile, so I think you're picking the one above.
I think it thinks I'm clicking on the tile above it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably is right.
You might be able to fix that with a raycast as opposed to using coordinates.
Possibly, yeah.
That's kind of upsetting. So.
I mean, currently it's kind of it's basically cheating anyway. It is just using coordinates. Oh yeah, you're at 45 delusion. Your max is 50, and you do something that gives you 55. Does that give you 2 stacks or only 1? I assume that would only give you 1, but also I assume there's going to be no moves that can give you that amount. Though that again, we haven't designed everything, but my assumption is that like the max delusion I think will give you is your limit. So maximum you'll only gain 1, but that's a good edge case. Well, imagine you're 1 below your lucidity, and you gain your lucidity plus 1 delusion, right? So you're going over your cap, but you're going over your cap twice, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So do you gain 1 or 2 stacks of, mind break or whatever we're calling that?
I think 2, right?
Ooh, okay. So I said 1. So there you go.
Because if all it cares about is how far over your maximum you are. So if you're double your maximum, you get 2 stacks.
See, because how I was imagining it was whenever you go over it, and how I've implemented it actually is whenever you go over, it resets to 0 and gives you 1 stack.
So kind.
So in which case you only
so kind.
I am very kind that way. But I as I said, I doubt you'll get that many moves that will they'll have that much delusion like in a single blow, if that makes sense.
It depends how we balance it, because there's always a world where
True.
I could see a world especially where things get more expensive the more you use it. I'm not sure, currently that's not what we're doing, but like for balancing purposes, if we do resort to that, then you could definitely reach that kind of situation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that this is the kind of thing that I think we're probably going to have to figure out through playtesting, because I think that's going to be like finding the fun is going to be really important.
Yeah, I think delusion is one of the things that were the least like a lot. We've come up with a lot of the like magic moves basically,
Yeah.
but we haven't really come up with any of the costs for things yet. So
Yeah,
we're
so I
gonna
think
have to
that's
look
going to
into
come
that.
from like playtesting and getting that to feel right. But that'll be fun. I look forward to that. That'll be cool.
Yeah. We're
Um,
gonna do this with this.
but yeah, on the news of art stuff, Lydia, what have you been up to this
Hi.
week in general?
Oh my gosh. I've been up to a bunch. Where do you want me to start?
What
Uh,
go
I've
go from the
done.
top?
Okay, well, we've been looking at updating some of our short materials.
You
So
should you
we've
should move over to Lydia's
Yeah, yeah,
screen,
yeah.
Luke.
Should I move
yeah,
over
I've
to
been
your
streaming.
screen?
I've been streaming. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
here we
yeah. Do
go. Nice.
I love you. I've been redrawing the meeples. So we've got a new sort of like style of meeples for the coming shorts. That took me a while, but they're really cute. I like them. They're in the new game style.
Nice.
We've got these little guys going. I got to redesign our logo as well. So this is our old one, and then this is what we're cooking for our sort of new stuff.
Awesome. I really do like the new logo.
That's so
I
much
really
better.
like it as
They really
well.
look nice.
So you get to update all of our socials, update some of our marketing stuff, and I did this primarily because we've ordered hoodies because we want to go, hopefully, to maybe some game expos, or maybe we're looking at going out and we need to rep the brand. So we've got some hoodies on the way, and that's very exciting. I am much happier with this than the original one. I think it looks way better, and I'm pretty chuffed. I'm pretty chuffed.
Yeah, I like it.
Then I did a bunch of menu stuff, but I'll do that after. I've been going through and I've been looking at the first pass of sort of like sketches for the different sprite poses for the characters. I've done Kaya and I'm part way through Reldon.
He's
So
got no
Reldon's-
head.
No, that one doesn't have it. I'm not happy with that one's head yet, so I've taken it off. I'll redraw it.
Yes, of course.
We've had some of Reldon's ones done, and finally, I've been getting somewhere. I'm almost there with the menus. I'm almost happy. I've got the shape. I've got the style. I know I'm missing a few bits here and there, but I'm relatively happy with the actual design.
Mhm.
What I'm struggling with is color schemes.
This is divisive as
And-
well.
Yeah, there are a ton. There is a bunch that I've made and that I really like, and they all have different variants. So maybe we run a bit of a poll later on. I'm thinking I really like this.
This one is nice.
I've been looking at this
I almost want to like choose. I like the real question is, can we not change it based off the time of day? I mean, slash weather.
No.
Like-
That would be really hard. I would not recommend that. But there is a variant of this with a sort of slightly darker background that I put in our dev channel. And I've been looking at it on iPad, and I kind of am thinking that the one of this with a slightly darker background, I like.
Which
I
one's?
think that's. I don't know if I've got it. Oh, this one. This little variant here, where it just has like a slightly darker backdrop. I like this. I think this is the closest to what I'm happy with. But I don't know. I want to get some feedback. I want to get some thoughts.
I mean, we got a new font as well. That was another thing that happened. So
Yes, we did.
It's got the actual game font in it now, as opposed to the random My Party Needs an Alchemist font, Matt Salah, which is a great font, but not for this project.
Also, I will say the font you chose
Yeah.
is a little annoying technically
Why?
because it's not centered properly,
I
or at
think
least
that's probably a skill issue on my part when I imported it. There is a way to fix that.
okay, fair enough.
There-
I'm blaming you then.
in the Gorillas regular, there's a value for offsetting it vertically. You can just move that and it'll fix it.
Okay. No, in which case it's not the font's fault. I just noticed it when I was trying to position things. I was like, oh, this is not doing what I expect.
Yeah, I kind of eyeballed it, so it's probably, it's probably me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, sorry. What were we saying? Lydia's color thing.
Can we see version 3 again?
Yeah, show us
Oh,
version
yeah.
3. This dark
This
blue
is the
one.
like dark blue
This is the one Matt liked, right?
Yeah,
mean,
I like this one as
I
well,
like
but
all of them.
oh
But
gosh, dark theme map's gonna be an interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's the biggest thing, I think. We need to see the map before we can make
I
a really good
know.
choice. Because I think the map is going to be like a really big...
It's the majority of the screen.
yeah.
We've really got to get a mock-up of it.
I think it
that's
depends
fair,
on the
that's
colours of the game itself. Yeah, that's also a good point. This is...
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to like pick a palette, but but I really like the shape language, and I love the little window for the weather at the top.
The
It's gonna
weather.
be so fun. I can't wait to see this in motion as well, because like this is a lot of static stuff, but like the background's gonna scroll. There's gonna be a little bit of
Everything's
movement.
gonna jiggle.
It's gonna be satisfying. I'm excited.
I think the thing that draws me the most to the more sort of bluey tones is the dev uniform that we've got a lot of the characters in at the moment that you really like is very blue. It's very blue and grey.
Yeah, but do we?
Also,
But you could
I've
contrast.
said it. I've said
you
it
know what I
over
mean?
and over again. But like for me, thinking about like moon imagery, it tends to be blue, right? I quite like the blueness for that factor.
We could go. I mean, you're not wrong, but like, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. We'll see. We'll see. But I think that's still something that we need to like. We get the map in, play around with it a little bit. But I could see the darker colors working pretty well. To be fair, I'm not like super fixed on one in particular.
Yeah, me neither.
But
That's why it's such a struggle.
I do like for the dev backgrounds that kind of like darker color with like the purple that all of the characters are on at the moment. Like these ones, I really like this color. I think it just is satisfying. And it's what all of the characters have kind of been designed to be behind. So if that's like that could be probably a good pick for UI colors as well, for cohesion. But I suppose that could change depending on where you are.
I do really like this one though.
It is very
very
good.
nice.
It's pretty clean. But yeah, anything else to talk about, Lydia?
No, that's been my 4 days thus far.
Okay,
Been,
you also did we talk about merch stuff. Was that a thing?
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk more about merch stuff when I have it.
Oh, okay.
When
you have it in your
I can
hands.
send little pictures and I can stick stickers everywhere and.
All right. Well,
Oh,
then
yeah.
tune in next week maybe for.
No, absolutely not.
I thought you'll have it by next week.
Have it
No,
up there at the very least.
I'll have the stickers.
Yeah.
Oh really? There's a jumper
Well,
coming?
I know there's a jumper coming tomorrow, but
Yo! That's
it might-
exciting.
it might not be yours. It might be Helen's, but
Yeah, so 2 of the distributors that we're looking at are from America, so we don't expect them for a while yet. But there are a couple
fair.
UK-based ones, and we got some stickers and some hoodies. So I'm excited. I'm very excited for the stickers.
Yeah, some of the
Hell yeah.
They won't be
My
coming in
Martinis
for
and
a while.
Alchemist merch is really, really cool. So we'll see.
And we get to do some polls afterwards, or we can maybe ask people what they want. If you'd like stickers, if people would like hoodies, caps, little reels, because there's lots of different types of stickers we could do as well. So we got some fun stuff there.
Yeah, I also think we should definitely check out local places in in Bristol and stuff like that, because if we can get them made locally, that would be super useful.
I know there is a print place local to us. I think it's literally just up the road, so I'll talk to you about that after.
Okay. We'll go get that website and stuff, because that is a good point. Yeah, because it makes life so much easier. Okay. Right. Awesome. Well, that's kind of quickly rushing through all of that. We still got a bunch of time though. We still got lots of stuff to do. What other stuff was going on? Oh man. Oh yeah. Actually, I have a quick thing about iPad stuff before we go further. We like there's a Matt. There's actually kind of like a big problem that I don't know how to solve.
Okay.
I can't get to the map screen.
You can't get to the map screen. Why not?
Because it crashes. Hard crashes every time I do it.
Oh.
Why? The GPU crashes. The shaders are not happy on the Apple GPUs. And I
Interesting. Okay.
don't know why specifically the map scene is having issues. It might
Well, I mean, I can
be.
tell you why specifically the map scene's having issues. It's because there's like a billion shaders in that scene.
we
I mean, like every
may
tree has a shader. I'm not particularly surprised.
we may need to turn that off, or like on the Apple side.
Well, we could go with an option that I was considering doing, regardless, just to make the loading times faster.
Hmm.
Which is split up the map scene into a lot of small chunks, and then just load the chunks that the player loads into, and then just basically load chunks as you need them, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we do that. But even then,
And if that doesn't work, then we could cheese it and make it more like mobile friendly in a sense, and have it be like more of a map that you have, like how like a lot of mobile games it's just like a map and you just click on the next thing and then you go there. We could just do something like that, and like that we can kind of remove a lot of the details, a lot of the things that are causing issues.
yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. It'll be all right.
Yeah. I mean, there's as just as an FYI for everybody in the stream, I'm not a big mobile, or like I don't have an iPad. I don't have any. I have a phone that I barely use basically, and I'm not a big mobile person. I don't really like games on them that much, and it's not where I want to focus on. So when there's all these talks about mobile, I'm always the down at the one going, do we have to?
Video, what are
But
you
there's
doing?
species like this, it's because it's always I know it's always more awkward than you expect.
What is this you saying? Yeah. No, I mean it's always a bit
Play with
awkward.
the chat.
But that's what if 14 was easy, then it wouldn't be like, everybody would just do it, So, well, we'll play around. I mean, the GPU issues.
But yeah,
we'll solve
if you need help
It's just
with that, do let me know, because the map, doing that on the map will be a nightmare.
Give him headphones. Don't give her ideas. I have no power to stop her.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Well, we've. Oh yeah, actually, I can show some fun stuff too.
Oh.
So if I got a bunch of stuff, and I got a bunch of random side stuff that I can show afterwards too. So first things first. Making it's kind of cute. What the fuck? The video editor stuff. I can talk about that a little bit if you want to get into that. So the shorts. Most of you have probably found us because of the shorts, which are oh my gosh, because of the shorts, which are on YouTube, on TikTok, and on the various other platforms. And those shorts are kind of made using Blender, and they have our little guys that do bits and pieces. And Blender, obviously known as a video editing tool, and we use it as such. So everything has been very intuitive using Blender. So thankfully, that's all nice and simple. The problem is that Blender doesn't, for some reason, support various things that we want to do sometimes, which is kind of sad. But as the de facto video editor of most video creators, I'm sure given time Blender will adapt and support it. But in the meantime, we've decided to use another very classically used video editing software, Unity. That's right. We made our own video editing tool built on top of Unity, that is just like customly built by us, just on top of the Unity stack, so that we can make and edit videos using the timeline and stuff in there. And that way we can, all of our little guys are controlled by a program that we made. I'm not sure why I'm saying this. I can just show you.
Yes, the the length we've gone to. I mean, the
This is all trying to cut corners, and then it ends up becoming like weird.
sometimes Luke just has inspirations for things, and
Because programmers are addicted to suffering.
What
And
it,
when they
Apparently.
see a
it's
chance to make a 2-minute project, a 2-month project, they can't resist.
well, here's the thing. I got locked out of using a computer for like 2 weeks because my CPU disintegrated. And then I had like I
You went
wrote
mad.
I,
You went
I wrote a
mad.
bunch of stuff down for for when I got back, what was I gonna do? And then like the day I got back, I was like, man, it'd be so cool. Like it wouldn't even be that hard to build like all of the stuff I wanted. And then I just got kind of like I did that. I got my computer back. It's like one of the first things I did. But yeah, anyway, hold on. Let me show you some stuff. Let me break the illusion. Oh no,
No!
scary OBS is going to appear. Oh,
That's not obvious.
um,
Oh, yes.
you have delay. Where was I? I was somewhere over here. Okay. So this is a tool. Oh, I should really put something behind this. Let's just minimize that for
Honestly,
now.
the biggest problem with this tool,
Mhm.
kind of, is so what we do for shorts, at least how I do it, is that I make
Yeah.
the short in Blender, and then as one of the final steps, I go into this program and we screen record this through Blender, and this actually records MOV files, which, believe it or not, are video files that have alpha values. So you can put this directly into Blender, and it will be transparent, which is great. It's really nice because you don't have to go around fiddling with basically doing a green screen thing in Blender, which is cool. Problem is, a 1 minute MOV file is like 2 gigabytes. They are stupidly big, which is really annoying. That's my biggest problem with them because I've gotten used to like how you make these and like how to use them and things like that as much as they can be a little bit. I mean, how I do is I render out the audio of the shorts and then just play back the audio and just try and time things correctly, and then I just record it, get it till I get it right. But it does mean I tend to be recorded, like re-listening to repeating the audio of the thing for like 5 times before I know what I'm doing. Bit jank, but it works. So having this be directly in Unity, where we can just like, I mean, what would be my dream is I could just be like, here's what I've done in Blender, give it to Luke. I can just say, just make my guy talk on it now, and it's just like he can just do it in Unity without having to go through this whole thing.
Well, yeah. So as you can see, it's possible to have multiple guys animated and doing different things. I can record my keyframes and play it back, and it does all of the like animation stuff so that we basically don't have to do a bunch of like annoying keyframing stuff manually in Blender. And we can kind of get like the janky kind of transform movement stuff that you might expect to see in this kind of style, but and then we can kind of record it and play it back all at the same time, and it's glorious, as you can see. And then obviously Matt also exists, so I can just have this be a thing, and that can be Matt, and I can play it all back together, and then we can make this beautiful little video. Isn't it lovely? But this is the tool that we built, and it's been extremely, extremely useful for improving the short pipeline. Like this tool saves us so much time, but using this and like syncing it up to us speaking and like events and stuff is kind of annoying, because basically it means that you're like having the sound play, and then you're like you use the numpad to basically jump between the different things, right? You can press like G to flip and stuff. And then you just wait for when you hear the right thing, and then you do it. But it can take multiple takes, and then it creates a big file that you have to import, and you have to manage all that stuff, and it's a little bit annoying. And this is obviously a tool that's built in Unity. So by building our video editor, we can actually just like fully build our pipeline directly into Unity, and that way we get all of the power of using that pipeline. But it's so much easier because you don't have to export a video at the end of it. You don't need to worry about timing, because everything's on the timeline, and you can just effectively create a function on the timeline like as an event and call the scene changes. So you have like perfect accuracy. It's always the first take. Yeah, I think it's a really cool tool for incorporating more complicated rigs that are controlled by code and executed in a video format. It means that you could create like a complicated scene with parallaxing and then control it from like a simple control rig within your timeline, and not have to worry about like animating the many parts and let your code and stuff do all of that stuff for you, which is kind of like the big plan for this video editing tool. But while it loads, I'm going to quickly throw us back over to Lydia because I can see that she's working on something that's terrifying. What do you...
I was going to say, yeah, the other benefit to having
Don't
that kind of
post that. What are you doing? No! She's posting the cat picture into the announcements channel. You've released some terrors into the world, Lydia.
Yeah, I was gonna say another benefit from the Unity doing this in Unity is that if we ever have like something that we've made for the game that we want to show off, but we wanted to not have a background or something, or something like that, we can just copy paste into this, have it work, and just literally just build it here. So it has some benefits there.
Mm-hmm.
I see it very much. I very much see it for me as a thing that would be very useful to do certain effects. It gives us more possibilities than Blender does on its own.
Download it. Oh no! You can't even just delete it. It's already out there now.
Yes.
Well,
I'll make a shiny version. It'll be great. We can make a Pokemon but with Luke.
Do not turn that into a sticker. I will lose my mind.
We can make it an emote. It'll be great. Every stream we can make a new Luke. It'll be wonderful.
I don't consent.
Oh, we can turn the Luke into stickers.
Anyway.
Glorious.
We can also do a bunch of stuff that's like easy to do in code, like shaders and in the shaders and stuff, and then have that like we basically have a full access to Unity's full like shader graph and all of the shader stuff that we can use for our video editing tool. So, for example, this shader that you're seeing in the background, this background image that is panning, is literally just like one tileable image that is just a shader that is doing its thing, and it's cool, and I like it. And so we come over here and you have this like record button. You set it to be 7 seconds long. You just hit go and it will do the entire thing. So, yep. You can see this is our timeline at the bottom here. And there's various different like clips and things that are being animated. So you can see like this rotation. Like when we pan through, we can see that it is, just like looping a whole bunch. And you can see the same with like the square movements. It's just like going back and forwards and then backwards and forwards and so on. And then with the mini test, which is us, you can see this clip of this guy doing various bits and pieces up here, and that is as simple as like you can see this like this timeline here. You can see it's moving both sync together, and this is just a change pose event that's a part of the timeline, and I can just like change this enum value to one of the poses. And then it'll just automatically change from one to the other, and you can see that's a flip event, and then this is also going to flip us back, and then this is a change pose to neutral. And you can see it's super easy and simple, and it's kind of cool. And that's our kind of custom stuff there. Now you may have noticed if I wiggle this enough, the preview is kind of broken because I don't reset the position as part of the preview, and so our guy is just going to float off into space, but that is like solvable. That's just like a quirk of using the timeline the way that I have, and I need to, by just setting their position right at the very start, that is fixed. But it's just kind of weird that even happens, to be honest. Also, is the position not like set here? Oh, I guess not. Weird. I don't know why it's going up. It's the scaler, isn't it? Yeah. So this is not tracked. I need to change that to be 0 in here. Well, that would be as simple as adding a new property, which would be transform. No, scalar. That's what I want. Scalar.transform, and then position, and then I'd add that, and then that scale would be just 0, 0. Where is it? Here. Yeah, and now it won't break when we do the other bits and pieces. So there you go. We can go back into this timeline and now shake things around, and it won't ping off into space. Hopefully, no, it's still going up to space. Well, there's some bugs, but you can see it's kind of working. So I don't know. This is the weird thing, but by building a cool little thing, hopefully in the future this will save us some time. Maybe it won't, but I'm hoping it does. Actually, I'm kind of confused. Now it's working. Well, that's ominous. But I'll figure it out. Anyway, but this is the first attempt. But it's kind of cool. I think it could save us some real time later on and make our new shorts extra fancy, because we can do extra fancy things. And this is really just like scratching the very edge of the surface, because this is just like changing sprites and stuff, which is just like, I mean, you could do that pretty easily in Blender, right? But there'll be some super powerful things like controlling much more advanced rigs and stuff that require much more elaborate things behind it. That'll be really, really, really strong. And once we have a library of prefabs and things saved in Unity that we can draw from, constructing scenes and like setting up bits and pieces using game assets and things like that will be super fast. And it, like, the way I can see it is, it'll kind of become like kit bashing, where it's just like you have all of the assets and like a little asset pack, and if you want to make a little short with some characters in it, you can just like throw bits like prefabs and things out there with already like pre-established like scripts and things that you can hook into the timeline for animations. And then you just kind of like can set everything up, and we can make shorts faster whilst increasing the quality of the shorts. That's like the big aim with this. But yeah, so that's hopefully people will like this. Nobody will know the difference, hopefully, other than they'll like it more. I hope, fingers crossed. But the new short's doing pretty well, so hopefully that will keep going. And yeah, so that's this. That's the video editing side done for now. But I'll come back to this if I do something really, really cool in it that's very different and people want to know more about how I set it up. Because yeah, this was like a few hours to like actually make, so it's definitely pretty cool. And a lot of the stuff that's kind of it's being built on is pretty simple, or stuff that's kind of standard within like Unity packages that's just being like put together in a weird way. I will miss these avatars. Yeah, well, these avatars will live on. I'm sure they'll come back.
Yeah.
And we'll get some different avatars and things.
Yeah, like this custom mat one.
This do
no.
I even want to go
Oh
over
no.
that? Bro, it's jelly. What?
Actually, you know what? I'm okay with that.
I mean, you
I don't like too much.
jellyfish!
Why
Yeah,
does
I don't
Matt
like that
get
much,
to
man.
be a jellyfish?
You got to be a cat girl because that's what the people wanted,
That's
and
what
we
the-
do what the people want.
Oh
Hey, you know,
man,
I'm okay with this.
this is so. Okay, but very well. If people want that, fine. I can't stop you.
Are you not convinced, Luke?
Look at him.
Is something in your eyes? Can you not see properly?
No, I'm convinced. This is great. This should be the
We
color of
can
the
do
jelly from
this,
his
we
hoodie.
can-
Oh, you need to make him. That's so.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Nice. We love a good deformer. Okay, right. But yeah, okay. Anything else you guys have been working on, doing, playing, less relevant to game dev stuff? Also, if people in the chat have questions about stuff, they want to know more about a particular thing for the next project, they want to know more about stuff from older projects, they want to ask random questions about our development cycle, anything like that, ask now. Otherwise,
Well-
what have you guys been up to? Playing any fun games?
Yeah, I was gonna say yesterday I finished Split Fiction.
Ooh!
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing with my brother. It's very, very good. I must admit, it's
Spoiler
I was
warning.
I won't do any spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers.
Um, yeah, I won't do any spoilers. It's very cool. I was very impressed with it. It keeps on like changing up the gameplay in ways that's very fun, and it's like there were many moments where I was just like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" And like I sent some screenshots to Luke at some point where it's just like it just completely changes up the style and it's really cool. It did. This is a spoiler. So, I mean, I'm not going to say the spoiler, but this might sound a bit weird without the spoiler. But there's one thing that I was hoping it would do when I learned about the game
Uh-huh.
that it does at the very end of the game, and it's very cool. I really like it. It's really cool. But it's very fun.
Suitably vague, but I'll take your word for
Suitably
it.
played. Yeah, I don't think, as I said, I don't give you spoilers because
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
like it's worth playing. If you have somebody you can play with, I highly recommend it. It's very good. It's a little bit on the short side. So we played about 14 hours. I was expecting a bit longer, but honestly, those are very good 14 hours. It's good enough that I'm seriously considering it, putting on my infamous Steam favorite
Steam
list.
favorites. Oh, okay. There are a few games up there. I don't. Is our
I mean,
game in that list? I don't even think it is.
No. I've got
Shit,
I've
mate.
got 11 games in that list, and they are 14 hours is not short. I don't know. I was just expecting longer for some reason. It's not particularly short. I was just for some reason I was expecting slightly longer.
Yeah.
But the ending is very cool. The ending is extremely cool. And actually, I mean, to be fair, the entire game is very good. It really is. I am quite impressed.
Well.
Also, I think for most people, it'll probably be slightly longer than 14 hours. Me and my brother do go quite fast.
Yeah, you're both speedrun gamers, so.
Well, to be honest, the game makes it quite satisfying to try and go fast, and we've both played a lot of like platformers and things like that. So a lot of the like platforming challenges we were quite good at. So it's not. I think it could be vaguely challenging if you're not used to platformers. And things like that, especially some of the bosses, can be quite challenging if you're not used to that kind of thing. But both me and my brother play lots of games that are similar mechanics. So wasn't too much of an issue.
I will say, someone in the chat asked about merch. Where can you get it? We will talk about merch, where you can acquire it, and what's going on with merch. Once we know what's going on with merch.
All the stickers are mine.
Yeah, Lydia's currently hoarding them like a dragon hoards gold. You can just picture her now, sat on like a pile of stickers if you
I'd
want.
be so happy. I want so many of them. You can get reels. We can get reels of the Fumblebees. Oh, I love stickers.
Play enough indies at 14 hours is long
Hours
to
as
me
well.
now.
Yeah,
That's pretty good. That's true.
See, I kind of agree with you. But it's because I play a bunch of indies. I'm actually noticing that I'm starting to get a soft spot for like random indie games with like not very many reviews on Steam that are like kind of small. But yeah. Yes, I have a favorites list on my Steam account, which is mostly random indie games.
Yeah.
Except bar a couple, which are just like the games that I consider to be the ones that I guess have probably impacted me the most. The ones that I would like thought were the most. I don't know. Each one left me going, "My God, that game was amazing!" And I'm really the one rule I have is that if I put a game on this list, I can't remove it because it's supposed to be like when I finish it, right? So, and Split Fiction is right on the border of should I put it in there or not?
Ooh, okay. Well, let me tell you. Actually, hold on. Wait. Oh. Never mind. Sorry, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should. Nah, never mind. Continue. Sorry.
What was one you worked on, Alvaro?
Oh, sorry.
Alvaro says he worked on a game that was in the turn-based Thursday, which
really?
I did actually go through a bit, so I might have seen it.
Nice. I'd love to see that. I've been playing some games as well. I've been playing through like quite a selection. My birthday was not too long ago, so I've been playing a bunch of new games, and the new games are fun. It's got some niche ones. So I've been playing Lost for Swords, which is a game that Matt got me, which is really cool. It's kind of like this kind of card-based dungeon crawler thing. I've been enjoying that. It's been great fun. Nine Kings, I played that the day it came out because I saw it and I was like, this is really cool. It's like again, another roguelike, but you kind of like build up a little army and then like it's kind of got a bit of like simulation energy where you're like throwing army units against each other. I've been playing a game called Sol Sesto, and it's got kind of Balatro energy. It's very simple but extremely addictive. And I definitely recommend checking it out. I think it's one that you would like as well, Matt, actually. So I'm gonna send that your way. Just a quick little link.
Also, yeah, Zero Order Tactics. That's very cool.
It's very cute. Oh, I love the little guys.
And then the meta pick that I've been playing recently is obviously Elden Ring Night Rain, which came out
Yes,
pretty recently. And oh man, yeah, the Night Rain stuff has been really fun. I've been enjoying it.
Someone riding a bear. Oh my gosh.
What, riding a bear? What are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm looking at Zero Order's tactics and I'm looking at there. I've seen a little guy on a bear, I think. I love it. I love it.
Okay, let me check this out.
Someone asked what's on my list. Okay, my list has 11 games. I've played on Steam over 200 now. I'm probably around 200. I'm getting close to 250 probably. And I have 11 games on my list. One of them is a token game, and what I mean by that is I've played like almost 5,000 hours of Rocket League, so it was on there. But it's more there because I played so much of it. Though I kind of stand by it. It's it's the only game I've ever played that's managed to hold me, like keep me engaged for that long. The next game that I played the most is I think either Civ 6 or Stellaris at 250 hours, like 20 times less. And 250 hours is already massive. So yeah, so I've got Rocket League on there. The first game I've ever added was Gunpoint. It's one of the very first games I ever had on Steam. It was given to me by my sister's husband. There you go. Cool. And I very much enjoyed Gunpoint.
Yeah.
I've got Evoland 2, I think. Evoland Legendary Edition, which was one of the first times I realized that I really like when games just constantly change up the mechanics and constantly change what you're doing. So good. Loved it. Then I have Stellaris, because, Stellaris is awesome. Then I have Crosscode. I really like Crosscode. Crosscode was amazing. My only regret is that I played Crosscode during early access, because it is so good, and I kind of ruined it for myself, because now I'm like, I've already played it. It was really good. It's a really cool RPG. It has a really fun story. I love the mechanics. They're so fun. And there's some almost Zelda-inspired like dungeons where they're kind of puzzly, and I don't know. It hit me really well. Outer Wilds is on that list. It's one of the first. It's the first game. Well, it's the last game that I binged, in the sense that I got it for my birthday a couple years back, and I just played it from start to finish in 2 days after my birthday, and it was just like I just did that. That was my 2 days, and it's very like most games just don't have that. They don't hold me in. I tend to need to stay away from it, but Outer Wilds did it. Teardown is awesome, so unique. I don't think I've ever played a game like it, which is why it's here. It really is just really unique, and I love it. I also just love the preparation and then speedrun. Oh, so good. Octopath Traveler, maybe a bit of a weird one, but I really enjoyed it. One of the only games I've come back to and played after I stopped, because I stopped about halfway through, then came back to it after a year and finished it. And I was like, oh wow, okay. I really liked it. The only downside to Octopath Traveler is it's a bit repetitive, and it's why for me I needed that break.
Right.
Wonder Song, really liked it. It's a really, I want to say small indie game, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty big. But it's a cool indie game. You play a bard, and it's very cute, and it has a very fun story, and the mechanics are kind of nice. It was nice. Sanabi is awesome. A really cool story. I really liked how they did story. How I did stuff in my the way we did story in my parties in Alchemist was heavily inspired on how I with Sanabi. I played Sanabi and I was like, okay, I want to do something similar in my parties in Alchemist. Very different styles, not quite the same. It's not the same art style or anything like that. So it's quite different, but the way in which the characters move around on screen and stuff while they're talking and stuff like that. That was, at least for me, how I implemented it was inspired by Sanabi. And the latest game on the list is Tactical Beach Brothers, which means that yes, whatever they're called, suspicious developments are on my list twice with Gunpoint and Tactical Beach Brothers. But Tactical Beach Brothers, I loved it. The story was so good. The mechanics are so fun. It really is great. It's an absolutely amazing game. There you go. That's the 11 games on my list.
I think if you like,
It is obviously very personal because it's all the it's all what I enjoyed the most, not necessarily what's been most like I played things like Elden Ring that are not on the list somehow, right?
I've got a
that are games that more
recommendation
people
for you as well. Then, if you like Tactical Breach Brothers, I think Arco might be up your street. It's another one kind of in the similar.
Yeah. I have actually. I think it's on my wish list.
Your wish list is like insane though.
My wish list is like 200 games. It's getting to the. I'm scared that I think my wish list is growing faster than my library, which means that eventually I'll be overtaken by my wish list. Terrible world we live in. But yeah, Tactical Beach I thought was so good. I played it at the start of this year, and it really was like, oh man, that's good. But there's some very good games that didn't make on this list. Like, there's a lot of games that sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm surprised. Like, one of the games that's not on this list might be because I made this list after. I probably started this list after I played it, which is surprisingly Tales from the Borderlands. I've played that game like 3 times, start to finish. I really liked it. It's just it's a Telltale game, but I really liked it. I thought it was really good. But yeah, there's things like Celeste that I've sped run and 100%ed, which is not on the list. So it's a very selective list and very, it's personal to my taste. But I'm actually, it's also like you have a bit of everything. It's still biased towards certain things, but there you go.
Tales from the Borderlands is the only good Borderlands game. Or controversial.
It's the only Borderlands I've played, so I can't say much.
Yeah, I got
it. It was given to me by my brother, Tales from the Borderlands, and I really liked it. I must admit, it really was good.
Borderlands 2 is meant to be one of the like classic ones. I know I had a bunch of friends who used to play that, but I never really got into Borderlands. But I think it's because I was still primarily doing PC stuff. I felt like, or at least I mainly saw it as like console games at the time. I guess I don't know. Well, you can play it on the PC. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Maybe I just missed it. I was too distracted at the time. I was playing 2 games basically, which was Minecraft and Path of Exile. Those are the 2 games I was playing. For like
Actually,
5 years.
have you caught up to my Rocket League hours with your Path of Exile?
What's your Rocket League hours?
I kind of stopped playing Rocket League at this point.
What's your Rocket League hours?
I'm at 4,930.
Oh, I left you in the dust ages ago. I'm at 5.3k.
Ooh.
On
because I know in uni I was much higher than you.
Yeah, well, I had to do coursework, but
Well, you see, I was on the Rocket League teams. I mean,
Oh yeah. That's true.
I was too busy being the worst on my team.
Whoa. I don't think that's true.
I do miss competing.
You were the heart of the team. They loved you.
They did love you. That is true.
They would have been performing worse if you weren't on the team, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you had fans, so what can I say?
You did have fans. Oh, that was so good.
You begin uni again this September. You're nervous. Don't be nervous. What do you?
Uni's great.
What kind of things are you up to? Are you planning to join any fun societies, or are you just like going in there to get it done?
Is it? I had 2 years with nothing.
2 years with nothing. No.
Oh, did you go through during like the COVID time? Because that.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's pretty rough.
Oh,
yeah, it's a bit rough.
You know what you need for that? I would highly recommend prescribing yourself Dungeons and Dragons. You'll find them. Just look for the table of people screaming at each other but associating with no one else. They won't make eye contact with you.
There's definitely societies and things. I do think it can help find friends, help build social skills and do all of that kind of stuff. Because still
Yeah,
worrying
I mean,
I had like 5 years off
for-
before going to uni for mental health stuff. Yeah.
first year of college, I'm pretty sure I sat in a stairwell. I didn't speak to anyone. I was super socially anxious.
I'll be honest, I got lucky.
I had to drag you out.
You
the
did get
stairwell,
you
yeah.
got adopted by Luke pretty early.
I got adopted by Conrad.
That's true.
You know,
Oh, what a
it was a uni thing where like they made all the new people come and sit down in this big hall, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna force me to talk to
no,
other people I don't know.
icebreakers. Oh
And then
no.
Conrad just kind of talked to me, and then I joined
That's true.
the Anime Society. And then at some point, apparently Luke talked to me, but
Yeah. In the
I mean, it
first
must be
actual,
true because here we are. But
in
I
the
don't
first
remember
actual class I did when we were in when we were doing group stuff, because I remember I can picture the scene, man. We were all sat down on little
Aw.
islands. I was in the back left of the room, sat on the computer by the monitor, and they were talking to us about Unity, and they were saying, how do you know whether or not a capsule is mid-air or not? It's a surprisingly annoying problem to solve without using raycasts. And that's what we were doing, and we had to form a group after that. And then in the middle of the room, you and Conrad were there, and I was like, they look competent.
It's my main engage.
I'm going to make sure that I'm in a team with them because I want to not fail. And so I came and I was like, hello, I would like you to come and do stuff. And then we did, and it was fun. It was good.
Yeah,
And then after that, we played the games, and then eventually I incorporated you into our D&D stuff, and you haven't been rid of me since.
That is true. I've tried. I was like, hey, Luke, do you want to try this really risky thing? I think we should start a company. And then he said yes. I mean, oh, what is this?
Yeah, I know.
Aw. But if you're struggling to find people in real life or societies, or you're just not like super comfortable with it, I can highly recommend. There are very public D&D servers and just fandom servers in general. Find a hobby, find something you're interested in. There is guaranteed a public server for it somewhere. Go talk to people online because you can always change your name and disappear.
True, but I would also say that if you can find people in real life who you can do stuff with,
Yeah,
it would
that's
be much
better.
healthier. Because then you have people who can help you who are in the flesh, and that's useful.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, good. Well, I wish you luck with that. I'm gonna quickly check my time. I've got 14 minutes. Okay, we have to stop the stream in 15 minutes as a hard cut off today because of reasons.
The reason's been.
Hey,
There may or may not be a Path of Exile update happening.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's the big Path of Exile
All I'm saying
new
is,
league
if ever Luke
announcement.
is suddenly, for
And
reasons,
I
has to go, you can just check
wish-
the path like the property is.
I want to
Luke,
see.
I think
what
something's
the
going
new
wrong with
league
OBS.
is. Oh.
I think it
There's
might be
a-
crashing again.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
in
no.
15 minutes we'll be going through that ominous tunnel, and who can tell what the connection status will be. But we'll be back again after that. I mean, not today probably, but we'll be back next week. But yeah, man, I've been enjoying Night Rain. It's pretty fun. I played it exclusively solo for like 2 days, and it was pretty rough. And I managed to kill the first boss, and then I was like, oh, I guess I should try it with randoms, and it was really fun with randoms. So pretty cool. And I actually got to play a game with some of my friends the other day, and that was nice as well. So yeah, I just need to convince more people to play Night Rain, so I have more Night Rain runs to do with people. But Matt, I'll get you to play Night Rain eventually. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying my birthday soon. I can't really refuse you if you've given me the game. Can I?
Yeah, it's your birthday soon, so I'll just buy it for you as a gift, and then you'll have to play with me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
tactic.
perfect.
Tell him
No,
about. Oh, true. There's a jellyfish boss. There's a whole boss.
That's true. I have
There
heard
are
of
lots
that.
of
Yeah.
jellyfish.
And if you want to translate a game to Spanish, I did do that. Oh wait, Matt, you can talk about translations.
Yeah, if you want to translate My Party is an Alchemist, I do have all the text files ready to go.
We built a
Pretty
whole
much.
thing for it, and then
I did build a whole thing for it. That hasn't really been used.
Yeah, so if you want to do that, well, Matt will talk to you about it, and we can sort something out. I'm sure.
I might have to part with some stickers after all. Damn it.
Yeah, so I can tell you currently. So the files I have, they're just going to be CSVs, is what I have to give you. I can change the what I give you if you have a preference, but as I haven't, I've never worked with localization people before, so I don't really know what the standard is. So I've just done CSVs because that seemed to work.
Oh yeah, it's a big Excel file basically.
It's a big Excel file. There's a couple of quirks to it, but currently there's roughly 20,000 words, a bit less.
It's a fair amount.
So it's a big project. This isn't
The game is unfortunately a lot of yapping.
Yeah, there's a lot of text.
A lot of speaking. That's what I used last time.
Okay.
No, it's okay. Just be glad it wasn't my party. Sorry, Isle of Malagry, because that was 100,000. So that's a lot. That's a lot more.
That's quite a lot more words.
Yeah. So you can use anything that can read a CSV file, but Excel works. I think you can use Google Sheets as well.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm using. I don't have Excel, so I mean I'm just using Google Sheets to look at things.
So anything like that will work. But yeah, so I think that's basically all. I'm going to use the last 10 minutes to show off some random side projects then, unless you guys have got anything else.
No, go for it.
Yeah, I think you can go for it. I actually might dip off early.
You might leave now. You can't
Skyrim?
stay from
on work
just
time?
10 minutes.
I need to go get ready for that Path of Exile stream.
You
so,
need-
man.
I need to go make food.
That's
before it
really
starts.
interesting. That's really interesting. I actually haven't eaten, so
No,
I'm
me
just...
neither.
Yeah, you should do that.
No. Not until after, okay? Then I will eat.
You need your main nourishment, then you
Yeah.
can worry about actual nourishment.
I'll feed my mind first, and then I will go. And here I can't show off side project stuff.
No.
But just
You can do it next
just a
week.
little
It'll
bit.
be good.
But it's really cool.
Okay. Show off your side project something. Show off your side project.
Okay,
Speed
I'll
run,
only
speed
show it
run.
off for like a few
You
seconds.
have 9 minutes.
I'll do it for like a minute and a bit, and then I'll go eat, and then I'll still have like a little bit of time. It'll be really fast. I've just been working on some random side stuff because, again, as Matt says, I just feel occasionally I just get these like urges to make random stuff, and so this is one of those that have gone surprisingly far, and I'm just gonna keep working on it as I go. It's kind of fun. I took a few games that I really liked. Path of Exile, this game called Way of the Immortal, I think. It was just like a Chinese game. It's kind of cool. Tale of Immortal, sorry. I always get it wrong. And Tiny Rogues, and I've kind of mushed them together into like its own thing. And here is my rendition of it. Is this the right screen? Nope. This one. What? That's Matt. This one. Yay, toggles. Here we go. This is my lovely dev art. I'm so jealous of your drive to make things and just think about them. Sorry, I just think about that. Don't. It's a curse. This is.
It is kind of crazy because I must admit, after working on, because I feel like I'm more able to just like I get I can go on for like on the Getting Games project. I feel like I'm more consistent throughout the year. I just get things done consistently, but also I do nothing outside of that because after that I'm just not in the mood to make more games. Whereas Luke is just like constantly just making random projects on the side.
Yeah, the downside
Also-
is if you zoom really far into the small print, it's the drive to start making things.
No, it's the drive to make things up until the point where I'm satisfied with the thing I've made. Because the thing is the way it really works is I feel this horrible guilt for not making something and progressing. And so then I feel compelled to make something, otherwise I feel like I'm not. And then when I finally get to the point where I'm like, I've sated my requirement to create, then I can rest. But in the meantime, I get to make this, and it's cool.
Look, I will say, two things. One,
Yeah.
I'm always impressed by your dev art. It always looks much nicer than my dev art.
Thank you. I will say
and
that
two,
Lydia drew the background for this.
that might be why. And two, the tree.
Yeah.
I can see that it's tiling, but it's a pixel offset every time.
What do you mean?
Look at the tree.
Great
Every
proposal.
section it goes off by 1 pixel to the right.
What? Oh, this thing. This is just
Yeah,
this is the shadow color, like on this left side. It's
What?
not. It's that's intentional. It's not tiling. That's
it's not
just
tiling.
that's just lighting. But
No, but you can see the tree. The tree goes 1 pixel to the right every time.
yeah,
I'm not going crazy, all right?
I think you're going crazy.
That's just artwork, Matt.
That's
Hey,
just
that's
the
just a
sprite.
visual illusion.
Like that's just baked into the actual texture.
Oh, it's baked into the tree. Well, the tree is a right-leaning tree.
Well, I can't comment
Don't take that out
its,
of context.
on its political leanings, but I can say that this is the inventory system. And I made some cool stuff. I'm just going to show it off quickly because I think it's kind of cute. This is my little guy, and he has cool animations, and the system behind it is really neat. And I can do a bunch of cool stuff, and he's cute, and he goes wham wham, and I drew him and his little walk animation. So if it looks scuffed, that's why. And you can do a bunch of cool stuff. We can go into the thing, and it's like fully controlled, so I can do stuff like you can have fists, and instead of a sword, he'll have his little fists, and it's driven by a bunch of cool stuff. And he can also have offhands as well, so we could give him both fists, and then when we play, he can go byom 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 like this, and it's kind of cool. And we can plug in swords and have him dual wield swords and stuff, and it kind of works. It's pretty cool, and you know, it's kind of neat. And then we can do stuff like it changes armor, but I only have one debug thing, so I guess the best way to do that would be to wear his pants on his head, so you can kind of you can get this, which is obviously beautiful, and we love to see it. And then of course we can complete that by wearing his.
He looks like a mushroom.
We can kind of
His head
enforce
for
it.
his.
Heads for his legs and his legs for his head, and then we get this beautiful piece of art. So we love code-driven animation stuff because it lets us like find horrors. But yeah, so a bunch of fun stuff there, and cool entity stuff. But basically, the way that this works is with some fun inheritance, so we can basically make another guy and have it be controlled via AI stuff, like that I'd write, and then your main character is basically built on top of the same thing, but with instead of using AI to determine what it does, it just uses your inputs. So it's kind of cool, and I can do fun things. But then also itemization. I've been really focusing on items first, and bam, here's some items. And it's really cool. This is how the item stuff, they don't actually do anything or have anything right now visually, but items. You can kind of socket them, and it works like paths. So if you hover over it, you can see it's got an orange, so when it's orange when you click, you pick it up. But in a situation like this, you can't place it down because it's red, because it doesn't know which to pick up, and so you can do some fun bits and pieces. And these are all got equipable things, so like this goes in its valid slot, etc., and not in other slots. You can rotate things for optimal Tetris item packing. This was a request by Kirsten, and it caused me great pain. But it is now in, and items will currently flip things around, unless I tell it not to, because I want to have some weapons that change what they do based on their orientation. So like I could have a dagger that says when facing upwards, it does cold damage, but when facing downwards, does, you know, like lightning damage or something.
That's so cool.
I think that's kind of neat, and I kind of like it. Not only does it support this, but you can take this and now you can close your inventory and it appears, and that's kind of cool. There used to be a bug where this didn't work. Anyway, you can drop it on the ground, and then you get a little itemized version of it, and that's kind of neat. It does remember the orientation, so I can drop boots sideways, and when I pick it up, it is sideways boots. And it's also kind of smart in the sense that it will pack the inventory, and these labels will never overlap as well, so that's kind of cool. At least normally, although Kirsten did manage to break it a little bit. So yeah, you can also pick stuff up, and if things get too offset, then you can hide them and then bring them back and they'll reset. It's kind of cool. And this uses a really sick system I built. which is neat because the labels are actually using a register-based system. So you can be anything, not just an item, and request a label. And some labels, you can make them sticky, and that means that when you leave the screen, instead of them just like going off the screen, they actually stick to the side of the screen. So I can make things for like labels for like chests that you can click on to interact with stuff. I can make labels for quest markers and quest items that I might want you to not lose, and then you'll still find them because they'll always be stuck on the edge of the screen. And you can just walk towards them and you'll eventually find it. And so that's kind of all sick and cool. The reason this is offset is because I'm going to have some buttons, so you can have alternate inventories, because I want to have sacks that have a base type that determines the kind of items that they can have in them. So like you could have a bag which is currency only, and then when you equip that, you get a small inventory that is for only can contain currency. But the upside for those kind of inventories is that they will automatically pick those item types up off of the ground. So that way you can have special bags that hoover items up for you, and you can not have to always click. And sometimes you can just have your item filter off as a result, and it'll be kind of cool. So that way it's less focused on item filters, because you kind of build your item filter into the bags that you're automatically hoovering stuff up with, and it's more itemized, so crafting matters for your filters. I think that's cool. That's something I've always wanted in Path, and who knows, in 1 minute maybe they'll add it, and that would be sad, but kind of cool at the same time. So yeah, there's a packing algorithm, so when I pick stuff up, it will rotate things for the best fit. So like this belt was rotated, for example, and you can see that when I further fill it up, it will do its best to fill things, which is neat. And that's kind of mainly what I've been up to with this project. The idea is that you have skills, kind of like in Path, but those skills will be itemized like this technique manual. And so these 4 skills here are your 4 skills that you have here, and so you'll be like swapping your skills out. And then this on the left is like your flasks, which in this game are like healing pills of various types that will go here. And then this is the classic Path items and things that scale off stuff. And then I'm going to steal the game loop of Way of the Immortal, Tale of the Immortal, whatever it is, and have that going. Anyway, that's the stream. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this side project.
You can tell that's
We're going into a tunnel.
We're going into a tunnel. If people like this, I'll share more of it. So potion spells have their own thing. Yeah. It's super cool. But yeah, I'll share some more of this if you want to see it next week when I've made some more progress. You'll see the difference, hopefully. Maybe you won't if I haven't got around to it. Night Rain is eating my time. So yes, bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
My time is going off.